This is maybe a funny and sort of unexpected use for my new fan that I received today, which, by the way, I'm using my new lantern to show you this that I just got today. But this little battery operated fan, I did this in a super fast hurry. I'm uploading tonight's video. My phone started going into thermal shutdown mode, so I grabbed an ice pack real fast to put it onto the amplifier, which gets pretty hot too, and grabbed my O2 Cool fan, popped in some batteries. I didn't even put on the tray because I'm trying to upload tonight's video. It's going to take till about 12:30 tonight before it's done, and my phone was going to shut off. So I real quick tossed the fan together, threw the phone on ice, and believe it or not, it's before I could not hold my hand here without burning my hand. Seriously, this phone gets that hot. I'm amazed it even works. And now it's warm but not burning. So this fan is saving me and improving my video upload speed. It's funny use for a fan, but I'm happy I have it right now. Come here there, baby. Hi, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself world and the Off-Grid Project. There seems to be some confusion and some anger and hate going around about what I do. I started out the Do-It-Yourself world many years ago, showing people how to make things themselves, how to make a water filter. I do reviews on things like my miniature ink pen fishing pole, one of my hottest videos of all times. It's what I like to do. I like to buy stuff, yes, with money that I earn. I like to review products for fun, unbiased, my own choice, my own decision, and I do it for fun, for free, to show people what they should buy, what they shouldn't. If something is garbage, I'll tell you, and I'm going to continue to do so. This is the do-it-yourself world. I make a biomass briquette press. I do it because the do-it-yourself world shows people how to make things. If there's someone living in the city where system collapses, there's a hurricane like Irene, Sandy, or Katrina, and people have no access to heat or anything to cook with, then making a biomass briquette press, making your own biomass briquettes out of paper, can save a life. Yes, I'm surrounded by trees, I'm surrounded by the forest, yes, I can go cut firewood. I don't need a biomass briquette press, that is true, but that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of that video was to help people in the city. After Hurricane Sandy, people in Rockaway Park and Far Rockaway and Bella Harbor suffered in extreme winter cold, and they had no heat, no electricity, no way to cook, nothing. I bet these people would have been happy to have the knowledge to make something burnable, a compressed fuel source that lasts for hours, out of paper. Ever try to start a fire with paper? It burns fast and it's gone. And it doesn't burn well. It doesn't burn thoroughly. Biomass briquettes burn well. Just one example. I also run the Off-Grid Project. The idea of the Off-Grid Project is not to run around half naked like the Indians. It is not to make fire with rubbing sticks together for 3-4 hours. The idea of the Off-Grid Project is not to get donations from people and live happily ever after out in the forest. The idea of the Off-Grid Project is to show people how you can get off the grid on a budget. I got a lot of flack about trying to run an air conditioner on my solar panels. Society is programmed to believe you have to spend $15,000 to $20,000, $30,000 on solar panels to be off the grid. I'm going to show you that's not true. You can hate me if you want. I'm going to do it. And I'm living it. Power fails in the city? I don't know it. That should be proof enough for you. I have my LED TV, because I work on the computer a lot, I have to have the bigger screen monitor. I sit 6 feet away from it. It's better for your eyes. I do that because it's a necessity. It's a comfort. It helps. I am not talking about primitive living. I am not out here to teach you about primitive living. I do survival skills. That's the do-it-yourself world. The do-it-yourself world is about experiments, alternate energies, survival, sometimes primitive living. Yes, I can survive with nothing. Yes, I have a bug-out bag. Yes, I can live off the land. That's not the off-grid project. See the difference? I hope with the off-grid project to teach everybody you do not have to be rich to get off the grid. Yes, I get some donations, but honestly, it's not much. Honestly, it's not enough to complete the projects. Everything you see here, I have recycled pallet wood. I have my chicken tractor is made out of recycled pallet wood, recycled chicken wire, and scrap. My water collection system is 100% recycled free materials. There is the only thing purchased out there was that piece of rain gutter that I bought actually a year ago with my money, and it was, I think, $5. The whole rainwater collection system, I'm looking at it as I speak to you, recycled materials. My garden, 100% free recycled materials. I think that's a success. I'm going to show you how to preserve food. I'm going to show you how to dry food, how to can it for free. That's part of the off-grid project. This RV has a purpose. It is my home. Winter's coming. I didn't plan on being sidetracked with the RV. The RV actually should fall under the do-it-yourself world, because if you look at some of my prior stuff and my prior work on the do-it-yourself world, I show people how to restore campers and RVs on a budget. It's what I do. It's what I've always done, and I will continue to do so because I like to help people. It's free. I don't charge you to see the work I do, and honestly, I've spent a total of $6 in renovating this RV so far. Sorry, I used a tube of silicone and a can of foam. I think I spent maybe $12 so far in renovating this project this year. So that's not counting the materials for like paintbrushes and tape and whatever. But I'm talking about the materials used, like the paint and the foam. But that's the do-it-yourself world, and it's always been there, and it will continue. So I know there's a lot of people that are upset with some of the paths I'm following. The off-grid project has a plan, has a goal, and you're going to see me do things that are not necessary for me here for my living. The off-grid project is designed to help multiple people in multiple scenarios, to show them various ideas to get their house off the grid. And yes, it costs some money. I never said it's free. Some people help me out, that's fine. Sometimes I consider ending that because of the haters. But it's not a necessity. It helps. If I didn't have the help, the project would take me 2 years to complete, because doing this is a full-time job. So I'm very grateful for the help and the packages and the materials I've gotten to do the work out here. Without that, honestly, the off-grid project would take at least 2 years to complete, because the work alone, I'm working 16-hour days outdoors very often. Sometimes I cut it down to 10-hour days so I can spend about 5-6 hours online. I worked until 2 a.m. last night, 2 o'clock in the morning, just trying to catch up because I had a friend over for 2 days. And What more can I say? The off-grid project will teach you how to get off the grid on a budget. It will cost you some money. Not much. I'm showing you how to get off the grid for $5,000 or less. When the project is done, I'll have a $500 budget, a $1,000 budget, maybe a medium one, and a $5,000 budget. No more. Anybody can do it. I also show you how to use recycled materials to make it cheaper. So I hope this explains things better. Here we see a 45-watt solar panel. Now, I think the off-grid project is coming along nicely, and it's pretty successful in that I'm running all my lights, fans, a Bedini charger, starting my generator, and a water pump on 45 watts of solar. Now, that's pretty impressive. I am very satisfied with how this is turning out. This is a good experiment in low energy survival. Seriously, if you had to bug out and all you had was this little system like I have here and some junkyard batteries like I have here and a cheap kit, you know what? That's pretty cool. So I'm learning from real world experiences out here on the barest amount of electricity you need to run some lights and some simple stuff and have running water. If the water pipes weren't blowing out in this thing, I would have running water right now on a 45-watt solar panel. I mentioned earlier the free garden. Yes, you'll have to buy some seeds, but otherwise this didn't cost anything but some hard work and labor. And look at these plants. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. I don't know if you can see this. These tomatoes are above my head. I sure hope this shows on video. It's hard to show you. These tomatoes are above my head. This is incredible. This is just awesome. This is on chicken manure and pine shavings. There's no dirt. This was an experiment that some actually doubted. Honestly, I doubted. I wasn't sure about this. Not at all. But it sure seems like tomatoes like it. I've got some little tomatoes growing here. They're turning out happily. I've got different types of tomatoes. The watermelon is growing out nicely. The squash, sadly the weather has influenced their growth and caused them to rot, but otherwise the plant is doing well. This is actually the tallest tomato plants I've ever seen growing in garbage. My onions are looking pretty happy. I have 120 onions that I actually bought. I think they were $3 for a pack for 60. They're going to be nice. So this garden was a success. It was an experiment, and it was a success in my mind because it shows that you can use pure manure to grow in. I'm impressed. Here's a good example in sustainability. If you live off the grid, you need a source of food and friendship. The reds, I couldn't eat the reds. They're so nice. They're so friendly. But actually I couldn't eat any of these, to be honest, unless I was really starving. But they'll provide eggs eventually. They're still babies. You can still hear them making baby noises. They'll provide eggs, which is a source of food for me. And they're fun to have. So this is part of living off the grid. This is not primitive Indian life. This is living with nature and providing a source of food and fun. And this is all recycled materials. Everything here was recycled materials. This is all free. Even the birds were cheap. But I want to show you something important, because somebody in the comments was very negative about solar, And I really don't like the fact that people are programmed to believe that only the rich can get off the grid and have solar. It's very annoying. And I'm going to show you something I never showed you. I held this back because I was hoping one day to show you more, but I don't even know if I'm ever going to get to that point. I have here 4 solar panels. I think only 3 are hooked up. Now, I've avoided telling you that I had 800 watts because I wasn't using 800 watts. I have, I think, only 600 watts hooked up. I say I think because the grass overgrew the wires. I had a baby bird nest in my solar panel rack here. The birds were sadly killed, I think, by a raccoon. I'm very saddened because it was cool. But anyway, they're gone now, so I'm going to clean all this up. I'm going to rewire my panels. I'm going to put my panels on movable racks. Right now the sun is just short of being above me. It's 12 noon and the sun is not yet straight above the panels. And I pull in a max of 600 watts, so I do believe I've only got 3 of these hooked up. Now, I've never told you I had 4 because I'm not using 4. Truth is, Tim, when he bought these solar panels, they were on such a deep discount. Now this is something I never showed y'all. There's 4 more solar panels. I have 8 solar panels. I have 1,600 watts of solar. But guess what? I only have 600 watts hooked up. I only have 600 watts of solar hooked up. Now these belong to Tim, of course. He's going to come and get these one day. And I'll be back to using my old homemade broken up ones. But last summer I did live out here in this meadow off the grid using my homemade panels. And I didn't have the comforts that I have now with power, but I made it. It was alright. And I'll be using these again soon, so I'll have to rebuild them and get them back in shape. But I just wanted to show you that although I have more panels, I'm not using them. I'm only using 600 watts. And when I clean up this mess, this grass, and reclaim this area back from nature, I'll show you the wires and I'll show you how it's hooked up. But the point is that there's no $30,000 invested here. These were $100 a piece. $100 for a solar panel. Even at that, there's only $800 of solar panels here. That's it. And I'm only using $300 worth. I'm only using 3 solar panels. So anyway, I did have my AC running yesterday until the sun went down. And I'm going to have it running again today. All I have to do is put bigger wires in there because the AC, I'm pretty sure what happened is the wires were getting warm. And what was going on is the AC unit, when it kicked on after the sun went down, the battery voltage wasn't as high as they were under charge. And when the AC unit surged, the inverter shut off due to voltage, low voltage, to protect the batteries. And with bigger wires, it won't have that problem. So I'm gonna hopefully prove that today, and hopefully have AC going, because I'm sweating here really badly in the sun. And having comfort is important, because I don't know a person in the world that can work all day in the heat without a break and without cooling off. And when you're working out in this off-grid environment, building stuff, making stuff, digging in the dirt, working, building, lifting, it's exhausting, whether you know it or not, or whether you'll accept it or not. It's tiring, and the humidity here is bad. So yes, I do believe that air conditioning is important for an off-grid home. I do. And I'm going to have it. And eventually this RV will be finished and have AC. Because I was in the Army, and I spent years out in the filth, sleeping in the snow with just a sleeping bag, no tent. I have lived in the I have hiked in the forest with nothing but a tarp over me, and I've hiked in the rain, I've hiked in the snow, I've slept in the rain and the snow, and I've learned comforts are nice. So I'm going to have this nice and comfy inside. Well, there are some people out there who question what I eat and say, because I never show myself eating, I'm not a true survivor. Well, I'm still alive, so I must be eating. And I often come out to my garden and grab a piece of a vegetable and good stuff. Ah, clover. Clover. Look, strawberry leaves. Ah, grass. Don't eat grass too much. You don't digest it. You can eat it and spit out the pulp, but you shouldn't eat grass. Ah, look here. Look at this. Dandelion greens. That one was bitter. Not very nice. Let's see. There's something else I love right here, actually. One of my favorites is this sorrel. Right here. Sorrel. This is sort of a nice bitter taste. Huh? Parsley. Parsley. Okay, now you've seen that I eat. I hope you're happy. I've shut down my inverter and I'm removing it so that I can put bigger wires on. I'm pretty sure that's the problem that I had here with the air conditioner cutting off on me. Because right now, let me focus on this. I'm bringing in 300 watts right now. It's overcast, and that should be pretty decent because the air conditioner runs intermittently, a couple minutes on, about 30% duty cycle maybe at best. So I think there should be enough power during the day, and I might even be able to get through the night with my air conditioner. There, it's sun is coming out. You can see it peaked at 528 for a second there. There's almost 520, see? 570, almost 600 watts. 620, that's the highest I've ever seen right there. Wow. Okay, that's amazing. It's the highest I've ever seen coming out of this system. But anyway, that's pretty nice. So I have a lot of potential power here that I'm not burning. I've got an ant colony was nesting in here. It's all damp and moist and rotting my floor. I don't know where all the moisture's coming from because this didn't leak before. It's a mess. And I discovered there was an ant colony living in here. I put down some boric acid and they all went scattering. But at least before they scattered and vanished, they took a lot of boric acid with them. It's a never-ending battle with ants. Well, anyway, I have to disconnect. Here's my solar panel incoming wire. It's not very thick, but I have all my panels wired in series for higher voltage, lower current coming into the solar charge controller. So I have to disconnect that first when I get going on here. Oh, there's an ant right here showing itself, crawling out of its hole it's made in my floor. Disgusting things. So the wire to the inverter is, I thought it would be okay because it's the wire that came with the inverter. Now I don't know if that was what he had put on, the previous owner, himself, or what, but it's not thick enough to power my air conditioner. So I'm going to use some of these jumper cable wires, and I'm going to double them up so it's double thickness for now, and run it very short straight into the inverter so that I have the higher capability that I need here so that I can run my air conditioner. I do believe it's going to work, and I do think the problem is exactly that the wire is too long, and I should have shortened it, but it was there and I used it, and I figured, oh well, it was dumb. I should not have assumed. I know better. So anyway, I am going to shorten the wires and run it straight from here to the battery as short as I can, and then I'm going to hook the system back up and my AC should work. Oh, I know, I was starting to say, I'm pretty sure that what was going on is my wires are too small and a little bit long, and when the AC tries to kick on, when the sun is not shining on the panels directly, the battery voltage is just low enough, although at 12.7 it's full, but they were low enough that these cables were giving enough resistance to reduce the voltage during the surge. So they're going to be replaced right now. It was just over 80 degrees a minute ago. The air conditioner is blowing cold air. Based on somebody's advice, I had to talk with somebody today. They said put it on high is better. So I've got it on cool high. I've got cold air blowing out, nice cold air. The sun is gone. It is, as you can see, it has been raining. The sun is gone. The air conditioner is blowing. This is pure battery power. Let me show you what's going on over here with the batteries right now. Got my place ripped apart to shreds here. Alright, I've got 100 watts coming in. I've got only 100 watts coming in, 9 amps coming in, because the sun is already set for the day. Well, set, it's cloudy. And I'm using 465 watts out of my batteries. So I'm going to be discharging my batteries, that's a fact. I'm sitting at 12.5 volts right now. So obviously I can't run this for a long time, but the compressor is intermittent. But it does prove that my wires were the problem, because I am running now the 500 watts after sunset at a lower voltage than I had before, 12.5 volts. Yesterday at 12.7 it triggered off. You guys all saw it. 12.45 volts, it's running fine. Let me show you the wires I did outside. Now I've rewired my setup here. I doubled the wires coming out of the inverter on mosquitoes. I've got two, wow, there's feel some warmth here. Well, it's not the wires. I've got two 4-gauge wires coming out of the inverter now, on positive and 2 on the negative. Now I found this at the hardware store. It was a long 3-4 foot long strip of metal with holes. I think this was less than like $4 or $5, and I cut it to, this is something I always wanted, to have my terminal strip. Now when I'm working on something, I don't have to disconnect the whole setup. All I have to do is take off whatever I'm working on. This is so much nicer now. And I've got the inverter right here. I've got my solar charge controller here. Got the power to the inside of the RV here, and this is just one of the battery connectors. And I did the same on the negative. I've got my bus terminal now. And when I do this in the RV, I'm going to use these strips and connect 3 batteries together, plus to plus and minus to minus, and then do another set of 3 batteries with these big strips. And then from there I'll connect them 2 together to make my 12 volt sets, and I think it'll be way more efficient. So when I do the RV, this is going to be a lot better setup. Because right now I know somebody said he couldn't make heads or tails of this mess. But it's working. The air conditioner is running. And it's cloudy. It was just raining. So it works. That was the problem. It was the wires. Yeah, these are not hot now. Yesterday they were hot, and that was the problem. Now, whether I can run this forever or not, that is the big question, because I've got 600 amp hours here. That should be enough. I'm pulling 40 amps when the AC is running. 40 amps. But it only runs for 5 minutes at a time. So I should have some time here. See, the compressor is off and it's just blowing the fan now. It cycles. And I've got 12.8 volts at rest. And I'm pulling 60 watts. So that's just the fan of the air conditioner blowing right now. So I think I'll be okay, because right now I'm pushing 122 watts in and only pulling 60 out. So for a while I'll be okay. For a couple hours, I think, at least. I think I'll be fine. I think this is going to work out. I think I'll be able to, actually, if I'm sparing enough, I should be able to run AC at night. But I guess we'll find out tonight. AC's been on for an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm not quite sure. I got it down to 78 degrees, but I haven't had it on very high. I've got it on medium range. It's still blowing cold air very nicely. Everything's still fine. It feels comfortable in here, very comfortable. Now, over here, let me see what the batteries are looking at. Looking like 12.7. Got 12.7 volts, 67 watts coming in. It's getting late. And I'm pulling 60 watts right now on standby. That means the compressor isn't pulling right now. So I'm going to let this run a while longer and see how it looks. And see what happens. Compressor just kicked in. Just now, I was just talking and the compressor kicked in. 470 watts and 12.4 volts. So I think, and that only runs for about 3 to 5 minutes at a time. So I'm pulling a max of maybe 15 amp hours per hour. Probably about 15 amps per hour when you average it out. So I think, considering that up there's 12.3, considering that it's intermittent, I'm going to let this run a while and see what happens. Worst case, I'll just have to shut things down for the night and run off flashlights, but it sure is good to experiment and find out. Definitely to teach the world. But I know I have enough solar panels, for sure. I just need more batteries. There's 500 watts coming out there with the compressor. Well, I can feel it over here. I'm on the other end of the camper and I can feel the cool air hit my back. That is so nice. But at 12.3, I know I can go to 11.5. It's golf cart batteries. They're meant to take an abuse, but I don't want to really do that. So I'll let it run a little bit and see what happens. Well, here's for my final test. I had this off, what time is it? 9 o'clock. Ouch. I've had this off for 3 hours. I had it on for an hour and a half, I think 2 hours? 2 hours or so. And then I've had it off for 3. Now it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm going to turn on the air conditioner when I fully expect this to kick on. Well, the compressor doesn't kick on yet. It'll take a few minutes, but I fully expect this to work. I guess for whatever reason it blows the fan for a couple minutes before the compressor kicks in. But I totally expect this is going to work with the new wires. Let's go take a look at the voltage. 400 watts and 12.2 on the batteries. 12.2 volts on the batteries under full load. 412 watts. It'll come up a little bit higher. Now, since this is intermittent, I should comfortably be able to let this run for a while. Should be enough battery power. I've got 600 amp hours, and I haven't used much of anything today. Used the air conditioner for an hour and a half, 2 hours, but still, this should be good. 12.2 under load is not dangerously low for the golf cart batteries. If they get down to 11.9, I'll shut it off, but I just want to test this out. I might end up needing more batteries, of course, but I certainly have enough solar panels. So we'll see. The air conditioner is blowing cold air after 9 o'clock at night, so it was definitely the batteries. So you can definitely run an air conditioner off the grid with 600 watts of solar and 600 amp hours of battery, but I do believe I need more batteries.